The results of Nick's BRI, presented by Ann Westrick. Nick is a 6-year-old first grader who is very energetic. He is Caucasian and English is his only language. He recently moved to a new school district, so his mother is concerned that his reading may be below his classmates' level. Nick himself is open to the possibility of becoming a reader. He likes puzzles, and he also enjoys reading about sports, science, and social science. We began Nick's assessment with word lists, one level below his grade level at the primer level, basically since I had no sense of his oral skills. I found that he was independent at the primer level, instructional at level 1, and reached frustration at level 2. Based on the word list data, we began the oral reading at the primer level. Nick immediately exhibited frustration, so I stopped the passage and dropped down 2 levels to pre-primer 1. Nick's miscue showed a pattern of mistakes at the middle and ends of words. For example, he substituted wet for white and from for for. He's primarily using phonetic and graphic clues for decoding and reads with very little expression. He also primarily reads in 2-word phrases with some 3- or 4-word groupings, which puts him at the NAEP fluency level of 2. With the oral passages and comprehension, I found that he was independent at pre-primer level 1, instructional at pre-primer 2, and reached frustration at primer. Nick's oral reading comprehension is much lower than his listening reading scores. This suggests that he's unable to decode words at the level needed to process the meaning of an advanced passage. So while he can decode words very fluently, he has more trouble decoding the actual meaning of the passage. For the silent passages and comprehension, he was independent at pre-primer 2, instructional at pre-primer 1, he was independent at pre-primer 1, instructional at pre-primer 2, and reached frustration at the primer level. Nick's silent reading comprehension is much lower than his listening reading scores. Again, this suggests that he's unable to decode at the level needed to process the meaning of an advanced passage. Nick's listening comprehension was independent at level 1. He was instructional at level 2. When he got to the frustration level, the BRI was terminated before any level was confirmed, since all the other indicators suggest that an overall instructional level was well below level 2. Nick performed very well with the listening comprehension questions, which suggests that he's able to process the meaning of an advanced passage, provided that it's successfully decoded. So when he doesn't have to worry about figuring out the words, he can focus on figuring out the meaning, which he's pretty adept at. Because of the relatively consistent levels that were found in the assessment, and also because the BRI levels coincide with Nick's comfort levels in educational history, I believe this assessment is accurate. Nick has many strengths. He is very cooperative. He has a really strong sight vocabulary and also has a strong sight word skills and listening comprehension. He does not get frustrated when he knowingly encounters an unknown word. Instead, he takes his time, sounds out the problematic word. His challenges, though, are that he sometimes is unaware when he makes a mistake reading orally. This suggests that he's not self-monitoring for comprehension. That is, when he's reading orally, he's really so focused on decoding the words that he loses sight of the meaning. He experiences similar comprehension challenges when reading silently.